So today I want to talk about the ENTP style. I don't know if there are a lot of ENTPs who actually will be interested in watching such video because clearly they have a very rebellious style. If you're new to my channel and this series, I'm actually doing a style critique for all the MBTI types or the 16 personality types, if that's what you know. So if you haven't seen the other types, you can check it out in my channel. I have done reviews on other MBTI types. So today's video is going to be particularly about the E. Why I do such videos is because we thought that it would be quite cool if I review some of the famous ENTPs out there. So where do I get my resources? It's from C.S. Joseph, because he's known for typing famous people, celebrities, and I think that how he has typed them, his methods are pretty accurate in my opinion. Alright, so ENTPs, they are known as the debater, the visionaire. Debate sounds a nickname that is most suitable for them. They are one of the most innovative, original, probably the one that is always trying to challenge convention, and this is how you cultivate new thinking, new ideas. So we do appreciate ENTP types. So they're under the intellectual type, so alongside your INTP, INTJ and ENTJ. I will not go deep into their cognitive functions and how it affects their addressing because this is actually covered in my Udemy course. You can check it out in the link below. In general, I think ENTPs could potentially be one of the most fashionable, but then I'm going to regret saying this later on because I'm actually going to be sharing a celebrity that is typed as an ENTP that I'm not really fond of, and she is actually considered a style icon at one moment of time. So later when I talk about it, I think a lot of you millennials will know what I'm talking about. Okay, so just a summary. ENTPs, they are known for their introverted thinking, extroverted intuition. This is where they speak their mind. They are very opinionated. They are not afraid to be bold, to share their true thoughts about something. So I think that's why they're nicknamed debater, because they're always saying something that will either get them into trouble, or just really just challenge thinking and opinion as a whole. And I think maybe being around them in a discussion, like an intellectual debate, will be something very fun. Depends on who you are, what is your type, obviously. So when I was doing my research on linking these personality types to their dressing style, obviously the EP types, they really caught my attention because they are known to be one of the flashiest, most courageous, experimental, daring. I think if you go back to the basics, E, extroversion, and then you have your P. I know that I have to talk a little bit about the MBTI, but this is how it's going to make sense to some people who may be only aware of MBTI concept. EP, extroversion, and then you have P, which is perceiving. Obviously, they look for possibilities, they are out there, they like things that are novelty, they like to experiment. I think that's the key word. Experimentation, exploration. Therefore, I think when it comes to their personal style, I think it depends. You would see some EP types, particularly the ENTP, they do have a signature or a core style that they carry throughout. It doesn't mean that they would be so introverted feeling driven to the point that one day they look like a dominatrix and then the next day they look like Cinderella. It's not in that sense. So maybe let me share with you the celebrity that I picked out, the famous people that I picked out, and I will critique their outfit along the way, so this will give you a better idea. Okay, so the first female ENTP that I chose from the list is actually Avril Lavigne. Okay, so it's not even funny. I cannot believe that I'm talking about Avril Lavigne, but okay, I think she's still a poser, but let's focus on the part where she's an ENTP and what we can learn from her dressing style. She's clearly not trying to please you, and I think those of you who are in the same era as me, millennials, you will know that when she first came out in the scene, she's the style icon. She appears everywhere in terms of her infamous necktie over tank top look with the skater cargo pants, that kind of look that is very androgynous street. And I think at one point of time, obviously if you're online, which most people are, with things like MySpace, Friendster, it's like a cult. It's like a bunch of us trying to look as cool as Avril Lavigne because she looks like she is essentially going against the convention, not trying to be feminine, not wanting to be the person that the society expects them to be. That's why it attracted a lot of those people who are like deep inside them trying to show their rebellion, and so this is like an avenue for them to showcase that. And so this punk rock kind of style was recreated. It got twisted a little bit, to be honest, and I must admit, one point of time I did think that her style was cool, but when I saw her during interviews, that's when she's still a poser, so end of story. I just want to fast forward and talk about at least the looks that she's carried over the years. I know that when she was up there back then in the limelight, still doing her skater boy, complicated, those moments, that is when her style shining all the way. Even now, I think she did try to have some comebacks. Her very intense raccoon-like eyeliner style is still there, which is, we all know that it's a form of trying to be provocative. Obviously, it's a pretty dark look. And she has this like punk princess kind of look. Even though she's feminine, she will try to still inject a bit of that badass rock girl kind of attitude. And therefore, I think overall the ENTP style, if you're a female ENTP, I think either you would have this rebellious streak that you have in your clothing styles and your persona. If not, then let's say you don't really go for edgy style, probably your outfits are not something too polished or too classy to the point that, you know, it makes people, it's as if you're dressing to impress other people. That's never really your jam. So in summary, very much street style inspired and ghetto, and a lot of attitude to the dressing. Now I just want to look at a few of her looks. As you can see, this is Avril Lavigne, probably quite recent if I'm not mistaken. All black leather, attempting to be feminine but still has her own dark shade to it. And then, okay, this is a little bit much, but probably she's dressed for some show maybe, I don't know. Probably somebody styled her, yeah. Oh, and yes, the bunch of studded bracelets all over her arms. Yeah, we all once did that before, and we all know how uncomfortable it is, to the point that you cannot go through the airport, the customs. Yeah, just in general, you can see very street style influence, sneakers, a lot of leather, black, graphic t-shirts. I think graphic t-shirt or anything graphic sweater top is like a thing for ENTP. Very much so for the male ENTPs, I think. If you're an ENTP, let me know in the comment below if this is your dressing style, that you are rather street rebellious, a little bit boyish, but still maintain your girly side. I think they do know how to maintain their girly side. It's just a naughty girl kind of vibe, if that doesn't sound wrong. Now, this is interesting, right? This clearly, I think somebody dressed her up, obviously, but it's still who she is. But in pink, which shouts femininity. Yeah, she has this perfect blend of being that badass girl. Now, I want to talk about the men ENTP, their style. I actually like men ENTP style a lot. As much as I do see a lot in the forums where people bash their fashion. They don't think that ENTP guys dress very well. I think if I am a guy, I would dress like an ENTP on most days. Who do we have here? Actually, I have two, because I just want to show like the variation. It doesn't mean that ENTP, they just have to look like they listen to punk music, they only enjoy rock music, and they dress like in rock band tees all the way. So I want to talk a little bit about the variation. So the first guy ENTP that I picked out is actually MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. The only reason why I know MGK is because of Megan Fox, obviously. MGK, known for his outrageous, out there, punk, rock star kind of personal style. It is really a typical, to me, he looks like a modern day Sid Vicious vibes. From his accessories, his tattoos, the way he's doing his hair, it's just all the way dressed to provoke and to make a statement. I think this is what ENTP is all about. Looking like a rebel is what an ENTP is about. I think MGK is like an extreme version, because literally if you were to look through his archive of looks, he's done so many things, from full-on pink outfits to like suits that have like freaking spikes on it, that I mean, obviously this is for show, he's attending an event. I'll try to look at some photos that, you know, he will wear on a day-to-day, but I don't think it will be too different, because if you see all those paparazzi's pictures where he's with Megan Fox, his street style, where he's nonchalant, don't give a shit kind of attitude, where it's a little bit rugged, that kind of vibe is still there. It's not like he really cares. Now I want to go to the other ENTP that I say is not that predictable, is Timothée Chalamet. I probably butchered it, but I think you guys know who I'm talking about. This guy, his style, like for some reason when I first saw him, I kind of sensed that he's either ENFP or ENTP. Like if you go through Instagram reels and like interviews of celebrities, he give off that vibe of ENP. I just didn't know whether it was an F or a T. Yeah, he's an ENTP. You can see from his style. Like I look at this outfit here. He's wearing like a full-on blue set with Chelsea boots, and the way the boots are shoved, and the way the pants are shoved into the boots, it just really shows that a little bit like I don't care kind of vibe. You know, want to look a bit badass. Kind of industrious look. Even when he's wearing a suit, right, there's a kind of rock and roll vibe to it. It reminds me of, what's the other rock star that is pretty popular ever since we hit pandemic? What's that band's name? Oh my gosh, why did I forget? Måneskin, Damiano David. Did I say correctly? Yeah, he reminds me a bit of ENTP, maybe ESTP. Okay, anyways. So another look, you can see that this is him attending an event. I think he probably insisted to dress like this. Sweater vibe, all black. Again, his signature tucked in, tapered pants inside. I think this is combat boots. It's not there to look prim and proper. It's there to look like he's making a statement that he doesn't care and he is himself. A lot of attitude. I love his style actually, the more and more that I look at it, because there is a kind of mystery and edginess to it for sure. I think even when he's wearing something that is rather, I would say, fancy, it's still out there, if you know what I'm saying. Look at this photo right here. Yeah. This is probably Dolce & Gabbana. I could be getting it wrong, but I love the fit. I love the color. It's red, it's bold, it's confident. It goes very well with the red carpet. But anyways, it's together with his Chelsea boots again. I think that's just his style. And you can see the rebellion, like a V-neck t-shirt inside, but he did. And there's a necklace. So it really gives off this rockstar vibes. And I want to mention this. Actually, C.S. Joseph, he's ENTP. People are saying that because he has this moustache at one point in time, and then he was wearing a lot of black tank top. It's just that look where it's edgy on the street, smoking a cigar, and then with the black shades, looking extremely mysterious and at the same time dangerous. So I think that's why people get put off by it. But my personal take, what do I really think about ENTP style is I love it. I find a lot of inspiration in it. I have done it a few times. I have clothes that resembles the ENTP persona a lot, like graffiti, painted like jackets. Obviously, leather is one key item. Boots, silver hardware accessories, chunky chain necklace, anything that makes you look like a gangster on the street, that kind of look. It's always a very fashionable look, has a lot of character, a lot of empowerment. I've enjoyed that look. I know a lot of people who enjoy that kind of look, and it's really a style that a lot of even luxury brands celebrate. So who do I think should adopt the ENTP look? Okay, you have to approach this very carefully. As much as I'm an advocate of edgy looks, any looks that make you look confident, empowered, anything that's too overpowering, anything that's too confident or too edgy, there is a downside to it where you look too intimidating, you definitely will not look approachable, and you will unconsciously act like an introvert. I think the ENTPs are going to challenge me saying this. What do I mean by that is you will end up wearing a lot of dark colors. So if you're already an introvert and you try to emulate the ENTP style, you need to put extra effort to interact with people. You wouldn't have the same extroverted energy as the ENTP in this manner. When you're wearing darker clothing and you're wearing clothes that actually make you look, I would say, cold, almost like a serial killer kind of vibes, right? You will automatically act cool, and your body language and your unconscious side of you is just, it will dictate the way you behave with people, and therefore people will find you intimidating, that's for sure. But hey, if you are going to an event and you know that the dress code is not formal, it doesn't really have anything specific, you can be yourself, and you don't really feel confident, sometimes looking badass, carrying all these styles that I've just mentioned earlier on, incorporating it, the bold red, the black, the all black, the boots, the silver hardware, the spikes, all these things can add the attitude that you don't have. And then maybe if you look at yourself in the mirror, you fake it until you make it. It gives you a bit of that toughness, which a lot of us need in today's world. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this particular one. Let me know what you think. ENTPs, let me know. If you're not an ENTP, maybe this is a style that you want to adopt. Maybe start small and then work your way up. Perhaps colors is something that you can look at first. Definitely the darker color palette. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.